What is up, awesome people of the internet? Got some not so good news for you, though some optimistic at the end news for you, and it's concerning Paige Bueckers. So Paige Bueckers has dealt with quite a bit of injury in her college career, and this season she was off to a really, really good start. Though today in UConn's 83-52 win over Villanova, Paige ended up getting injured when her and another player were going for the ball, and she got undercut. So let's talk about that, and I'll also talk about what Gino Auriemma has to say about it, which does leave me to have hope that Paige Bueckers will be back on the court sometime soon. Now, this play happened in the third quarter with a minute and 20 seconds left to go. It was a blowout. 63 UConn, 37 Villanova at the time, and there was a loose ball, and here is what happened.
That was not good.
So you saw basically Paige lost control of the ball, was trying to get it back, ended up getting undercut by the opponent, and she fell. And yeah, that was not good at all. Not good at all. She stayed on the ground for a while, kind of got her bearings, ended up sitting up. Let's get it off that grab. Ended up sitting up, and got up. She gingerly walked straight to the locker room, and it was a lot of concern. Like, oh my goodness, she's had problems before. When players go down and they're holding their knee, it is never a good thing at all. So it was a lot of concern. Basically, the whole crowd had quieted down as they were kind of seeing what was going on with Paige Bueckers. It was very, very silent. Even at Villanova, the opponent's area, right? The opponent's arena. Everybody was quiet. Like, oh my goodness, is she okay? Because everybody knows how great of a talent Paige Bueckers is. And I'm sure a lot of those people in the crowd were there to see Paige Bueckers. She was able to get up. She limped. As you can see, she limped over to the sideline. Ended up going straight to the bench. Not straight to the bench. She ended up going straight to the locker room. And then the good news is she took a little bit in the back, but did return in the third quarter. I mean, like she basically came right back. She had some ice put on her, but she did come back, and the fans are very excited about it. We saw people cheering that Paige is back. Of course, she looked very, very emotional. Very, very emotional, because I'm sure she was probably freaking out, like, oh my goodness, like, don't tell me this is happening. But, she seemed relatively okay. The fact that she's able to walk on her own power is a huge, huge, huge sign. Ultimately, though, UConn easily wins the game, 83-52, and they are 13-2 on the season so far. It's one of those things where it may have to be that when you're blowing out a team, maybe you just don't have Paige Bueckers in the game, because you just can't. UConn cannot afford for Paige to have something like this happen and it be like something that could derail her for several games or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have that. And so, yes, this was not the fourth quarter. I think the fourth quarter is largely when you call it garbage time, but like largely the game was won. It was basically won. It wasn't likely that Villanova was going to come back. Paige at the time did have 15 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds in the game before she went out due to injury. And like I said, she did return back to the court, and we did hear a really awesome message from Gino Auriemma after the game was over. He was interviewed, and he said that Paige Bueckers was doing pretty good. And so that's a huge, huge sign. Here's what he said.
Coach, congratulations on the win, but I have to ask you about Paige. Can you provide us with any update on what happened and how she's feeling?
No, she's pretty good. I mean, it was unfortunate. The kid dove for the ball, and I mean, I'm sure people saw it. Paige turned her back, and it was a weird situation. And it's funny because we had somebody at the scores table ready to check in, so But she'll be fine. You know, she looks good, but you know, I'm optimistic. Let's put it that way. I feel good.
It's good to hear. How do you keep your team on track after they see a player like Paige go down in that way?
You know, you have to play, right? You have to keep playing. Nobody wants to see anybody, you know, get hurt in any way. Same with KK took a shot down there, you know, and so these things, you know, these things happen, and yeah, you got to move on and you got to play. And I love the way that our team responded to everything that we tried to do today. You know, everything was exactly like we drew it up, you know, and we can build on this.
Yeah, so it's good to hear that Gino is optimistic. That means that it's likely not a severe injury that will cause her to lose, you know, be out for several weeks. Maybe she's out for a game or two. But we'll see how she feels tomorrow, because sometimes you feel a lot better in the moment than you do after the fact after you slept on it. So prayers up for Paige Bueckers that she is able to be okay. And that this is not a derailing injury for her, because she, yeah, I think she's one of those players who is an X factor whenever she's on the court for her team, and they really do need her to play and to be her normal dominant self. Though, you know, if she gets on the ball a lot more, she'll be even more dominant. If she actually is able to handle the ball as the point guard. But that's a video for another day. Anyway, I just wanted to give y'all that update. Yeah, again, prayers up for Paige Bueckers that she is able to be all good to go. But troubling news. I mean, guys, injuries happen. It's a thing. It is what it is, and it's very unfortunate. It's an unfortunate part about the game of basketball. I mean, we all saw Jaden Ivey. He got hurt and is likely out for the rest of the season, playing for the Detroit Pistons, like a similar, not necessarily a similar thing, but kind of similar, where you're going for the ball and then you get undercut, and then it's a whole thing. So injuries happen. They're not good. They suck, but it is what it is. So yeah. Anyway, that's the video. Just wanted to give y'all the update. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and I will see y'all in the next one. Till next time, guys. Bye bye.